Prince Charles was an early and very adroit practitioner of the Hindu Namaste greeting this month, but he's a most hard-working royal, taking over quite a number of his mother's events in the last years, and so, over the course of the SARS-CoV-2 stealthy assault on Britain over the course of March, he was exposed, and has just tested positive for the virus. He and the Duchess of Cornwall are at Birkhall, their 18th-century house, that Charles inherited from the Queen Mother, on the royal family's Balmoral estate in Scotland. The Duchess of Cornwall has tested negative, and it is reported that Prince Charles's symptoms are mild, and that he is up and about. He is the first member of the royal family to test positive for the virus. Charles adds his name to a long list of government officials and the better known among us who have been tested positive. No-nonsense Chancellor of Germany Angela Merkel, who has not tested positive, is, nevertheless, in isolation at home north of Berlin after being exposed during a vaccination by her doctor, who did test positive late last week, after giving the Chancellor the vaccine. But the list of the positives is long. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, Idris Elba and his wife, and Prince Albert of Monaco are just a few of the five-star names now cooped up who are working their way through the gauntlet. But Buckingham Palace and Clarence House have a pretty exact chart of Charles's engagements this month, and that is daunting on the face of it. Albert is interesting in that he attended a water charity conference with Charles and later tested positive, but no one is pinpointing Albert. The list of events and receptions is so long and tightly packed that Charles's doctors cannot say when, exactly, he picked it up. They can say, or they seem to be able to say at the moment, that the earliest he could have been exposed was March 13th. Rolling Stone and fellow septuagenarian Ronnie Wood, pictured below with Charles at the Prince's Trust Awards, seems to have landed luckily outside the window as well. The last time Charles saw his 93-year-old mother counts a lot here, as Prime Minister Boris Johnson put in his impassioned appeal over the weekend as he locked the country down further. The best gift you can give your mother this Mother's Day is not to visit her. And it does seem that the Queen might just have escaped Charles's window of infection by a day. The last time they reportedly saw each other was on March 12, after an investiture ceremony at Buckingham Palace. The doctors aren't saying that he picked it up March 13, they're saying that that is the beginning of the window of opportunity given the onset of his symptoms now. What is clear is that Charles's bright, grown-up presence at recent events brought an extra buoyancy to the affairs, and that will recede for a while, as will the events. The good news is that, when he gets through this bout and starts shedding the virus, he'll be immune.